So we've got a curve in the low back that we want to make sure is not sagging and not overarching. We have this situation right here where you have a sternum, your breastbone right here, and there's a space between the back of your breastbone and the front part of your spine, kind of like where some vital organs live, like the heart and the lungs. So you'll see a postural situation like this, where if you're a skateboarder, you can, you know, skate the bowl, really, you know, fill it out. You're going to be able to take more air, more prana, more life force, and you're going to be more, you know, oxygen. You're going to be activated. I want to bring to your awareness this gorgeous, these two beautiful bones, the collarbones. And again, it kind of like has to do, it partners up nicely with the sternum, the breastbone. So whenever you have that rounded in appearance, they call it like broaden your collarbones. It's not really like broaden your collarbones, but you're gonna get the energy of this bone horizontal, not caved in. Just like the hip, the shoulder joint is also a ball and socket. And by the way, next week in liquid motion, we're gonna lubricate this entire setup, this entire getup. In about another 4 weeks, then we're gonna do a basic stretching program. So, you know, let's say it's in 6:30 in the morning, you gotta get on the road, you're like, yeah, I really wish I could have done a yoga practice. I got that 7-minute practice for you. All right, so just like the low back, which curves out, the neck should also curve out. It's epidemic in our society that we've lost the curve in the neck. It's either straight or it's reversed. Yeah, and you just said it. Right now we have this psychosis. You know, I mean, it's a problem. Those smartphones, they are really smart, and they just suck our attention. They're powerful. I mean, so many little apps. My friends used to laugh at me because I had the old, you know, phone that you had like to text. It was like you hit to get to see. You had to hit 3 times. It took forever. I liked it. Now you have access to everything on the planet with those smartphones. Okay, so sitting, trauma, you know, whiplash, and then we have like a whole array of mental conditions that kind of like take our world downward instead of like or. Another area that I want to bring to your awareness is right here. They call this area the center of life in vertebrata. So in like vertebrate species, like the species with bones, this is where the brain and the spinal cord make love. It's part of the nervous system, part of the spinal cord. They call medulla oblongata, Latin for mouth of God. I call this cave of the soul. So the anatomists, when they were like naming stuff, they knew something magical, mystical, powerful was going on up here. And we don't have to get too abstract. We can just say, hey, like your breathing centers, your hunger centers, the centers that control the muscles that support your spine, they're located right up here. So when you're feeling a little brain foggy and congested, check that area out. So what we want to do is take this cannonball of a skull and that has a giant hole at the bottom of it called the foramen magnum, and stack that right on top of your spine. So if we stripped everything away from the center, you have 26 bones, 23 discs, 134 joints. All right, so then you have a skull balancing on the top bone, the atlas, like a Cirque du Soleil acrobat. So you got a 15-pound head balancing on a 2-ounce bone that's supposed to have like a curve in the neck anywhere from 40 to 63 degrees. Woo! You know, so we got to line this up. So we have the skull sitting on a little bone. It's going to be very important for our conversation. We should have an arc in the neck. We should have a space where the front of the rib cage is moved away from the spine to have maximum respiration. We have a curve in the low back. We have a properly aligned pelvis. We have the ability now to sit the femoral head into the acetabulum because we've created nice alignment. We've unlocked the knees. We've set the leg bone straight into the foot. So it's not as important, you know, in the big picture from a neurological point of view about getting your head on right so it doesn't put pressure on like your brainstem. But it is, from a proprioceptive standpoint, very, very important to align your feet. Proprioception, where you are in space and time. It's a heavy, heavy concept like gravity. But proprioception, your body wants to know what's the motion like and what's the alignment like as you move through life. The body wants to know what's happening right here more than any place in the body. The second location is going to be right here at the sacroiliac joints, and then third points are your feet. So there's an amazing even more simplified way you can align the body. And by the way, we're going to go from the feet to the knees, to the low back, to the belly button, to the heart, back to the ribs, through the collarbone, through the arms, stack the neck, stack the skull on your neck, and that's it. But I want to bring another dimension to you, and that there's a, just as we're going through it, I'm going to be like sella turcica for the people who want to go there. So if you drew kind of like a line from like right here, kind of like right above your eyes, maybe they call it kind of like your third eye, if you will, like right there. And then the back of your first vertebrae and where they would come together, like right in the center, there's a bony structure called the sella turcica. The sella turcica, the Turkish saddle, it's where your pituitary gland sits. Like your intelligence developed like this throne for like the master gland. It's just so rad. So there's the center point of your head, third eye, back of the first vertebrae. So you're gonna have to like go internal to find that center point. And then the center of gravity, like where your head pressurizes on your torso, is gonna be right to the front of the T6, T7. So if we count, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right here, there's gonna be another point inside, kind of like in the front side of your spine, right behind your heart, that you're gonna connect to. So again, you wanna connect to your heart, you can align it physically. Third eye, heart. And then the center of gravity of your entire body is located right in front of your sacrum. So, you know, we like to go deep here at the Life Center. It's called the Life Center, you know what I'm saying? It's not like Back Pain Relief Center of Los Angeles. It's called the Life Center. You know, we got some very powerful points. So you're gonna have your feet, you're gonna have that point right here, sacrum, a bone that was viewed as a sacred bone in many native cultures, right behind your heart center and the third eye.